Thank you, everybody. See you. Thank you, Mata.
विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तो स्वामिनिति नामिने नामयो कृष्णाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तो स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषो शून्यवादी उद्देशतारिणे नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी चारिणे निर्विशेषो शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य उद्देशतारिणे Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jayo Jayo Prabhupada, 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 Jayo Srila Prabhupada, Jayo Jayo Prabhupada, 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 Jayo Srila Prabhupada. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Well, thank you, our Nightingale. Thank you, Mata. You become a fixture in our readings. Keep practicing. Somebody else also want to sing. It's good for you all. So Vic, how is your voice? You have good voice? La Gloria. Have to practice with Krishna, Prabhuji. Also, Lucila's Lakshmi Narsingha Rupa Devi Dasi. Practice your chanting. Okay, something I try to do here. Okay, we are ready to go.
Yes, Prabhuji, from Mrs. Lalita Bose.
Okay, let me push this a little bit aside. Okay, Jai Srila Prabhupada, thank you for inspiring us with your pastimes in this material world. We're going to read about your affect life of millions of people by your behavior in this world. Thank you so much. Mrs. Lalita Bose, an influential woman and a good friend to Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, visit Prabhupada in the mid-evening. The niece of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, an old school friend of Srila Prabhupada, who became a national hero, especially in Bengal, during the agitation for India independence in the 1930s, 40s. He had advocated the use of words to drive out British and organized an independent India army base in Singapore during the Second World War with the intent of marching to India to liberate her. Mysteriously, he was killed in an air crash at the end of the war. Prabhupada said the real reason the British decided to quit India was because of increasingly violent opposition. It was not because of Gandhi's non-violence movement that the police and army were no longer cooperative. They knew they could no longer rule. This is an interesting vision in here. Mrs. Bose was talkative and loud, but respectful and willing to help where she could. She laughingly told Prabhupada that Netaji had organized an army to conquer India, and now Prabhupada had organized an army of Vaishnavas to conquer the world. Resist with the ongoing problems American disciples are having, preventing them from staying in India for extended periods. During the conversation, she also remarked that Mrs. Gandhi has said that the thought Srila Prabhupada was very pure scent. She thought that Prabhupada was very pure scent. After she left, Prabhupada called in Madhuvisa and Tamal Krishna Maharaj, organized a bus program throughout India for Sankirtan propagation and prasada distribution. Mr. Bose's comments about Mrs. Gandhi had encouraged him. He told them that if this is her true sentiment, then he would take advantage of the favorable climate immediately. Despite the current cause, Krishna, state of national emergency and paranoia that ISKCON is a front for the CIA, Prabhupada is certain that the Krishna consciousness movement can change the face of the country. If ISKCON leading devotees can establish large-scale programs in India for at least 1 year, his intent on beginning this program and talk animatedly about how it should be organized. Somebody please can read. Sorry.
Next one, please raise your
How should
hand.
be organized? Yeah. Next one can read, please, because I'm forcing my voice in here.
Antramata, you wanna read?
What to do?
Okay.
Tamal Krishna expressed some doubt about his own involvement because of his responsibilities in America. Madhudvesa Swami, however, was and promised to research at cost of this. As the conversation became more relaxed and the move into the other topics, Tamal Krishna Maharaja recalled how Prabhupada had personally obtained the London deities, Sri Sri Radha Londoneshwara. Prabhupada had been invited to London to officially open the temple, but the deities that had been at on time. Only a few days before the proposed installation date, the devotees spotted some Radha Krishna Murtis in a shop window. Prabhupada immediately went to the shop and personally persuaded the owner, an Indian man, to let him have them. Even as he and the man spoke, Prabhupada ordered the devotees to carry their lordships into a waiting van. Despite the man's hesitation, later Prabhupada settled everything very amicably with him. These reflections on his past struggles to establish ISKCON revealed just a hint of his inner, intimate, and to us hidden relationship with their lordships. Srila Prabhupada smiles and laughter at Tamal Krishna Maharaja's recollections made me wonder that what kind of special lila he has with the Sri Sri Radha Londoneshwara. Prabhupada said that there are the best in the society, the first large deities to be installed, January 15, 1976. For a change, Srila Prabhupada took his walk around the grounds of Calcutta's famous Victoria Memorial. Many people were out exercising and walking. Rather than speak, Prabhupada had us perform a gentle kirtana the entire time. Later in the morning, Prabhupada went to see another flat. And then, just before massage time, he sent me to show two friends of his the place we saw yesterday. Tamal Krishna Maharaja gave Prabhupada his massage. It was a surprise to me that it was the first time for him. When I returned to his still massaging Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada told Tamala to stop, insisting that I complete the massage, even though only his right leg remained to be done. Tamal had a Leon appointment and Prabhupada didn't want to him miss to it. Madhudvisa Swami, keen about Srila Prabhupada, last night trip in India, spent a good part of the day finding out about any books. Prabhupada also spoke with Madhudvishwa about the new buildings in the New York. He asked him if he wanted to manage it. Madhudvishwa Swami liked the idea. He has been the GBC in charge of New Zealand since May 1972, and he seems ready for a change. Later in the day, I came before Prabhupada wearing a new raw silk dhoti, which he immediately noticed. He asked me whether it was silk and how much it cost. Remember Hearing that in Vrindavana, he paid me for getting a good dhoti for only 14 rupees. I thought he might not be happy that I had spent 175 on this one. However, he was quite pleased and remarked that the silk is very nice. January 16th, 1976. We walked in Victoria Gardens again, but without an accompanying kirtana. Prabhupada said little. We chanted japa as we walked around the huge empty marble edifice. On the way out of the memorial grounds, we passed the police barracks just as an officer cantered out riding a magnificent thoroughbred.
Doro,
thoroughbred. It was have been fully 17 hands high and beautifully groomed. As we admired the elegant creature, Srila Prabhupada commented, "The horse is the most beautiful animal." In surprise, Tamal Krishna Maharaja asked, "No, not Srila Prabhupada. Cow is not beautiful." Prabhupada replied, "Mother of faculty," as if we should have known. Harikesha laughed. For him, it was deja vu. He told us that last year went out for his work, saw a horse, and made the same comment. His secretary had asked the same question about the cow and received the same reply, except it was Brahmananda Swami and not Tamal. This morning's news story on our Chandrodaya Mandir. After breakfast prashrama, Jayapataka Swami read the whole article to Prabhupada, noting a certain amount of cynicism on the part of the writer. The man had noticed that the pujari offering bhoga to Sri Sri Radha Madhava in a DT room warmed by a heater. The author questioned who the heater was for, since he had been told that everything we did was for God's pleasure and not our own. What would God want with a heater? He concluded that it must have been. Prabhupada says this is the atheistic mentality. He is compelled to question who it is for, whereas a devotee knows that it is for the Lord. If the deities can enjoy why not he? This inability to understand that God has senses is impersonalism. In their experience, personality means having limited senses. Therefore, God must be impersonal in order to unlimited. Actually, he said, unlimited means you can eat 6 rasgullas, but Krishna can eat unlimited coconuts. Krishna has senses and he appreciates the heater. Prabhupada told us today how to make bara by grinding up rice and urad dal after first soaking them, making a paste, spicing it with a chopped green chili, salt and pepper, and then deep frying small balls of it in the hot ghee. An accompanying chutney can be made from a soft white flesh of a young coconut mixed with green chili, salt and lemon juice. He took a few bars in the evening to gain strength for his night's translation work.
thank you. We'll go for the next page. Sovik, or the next. Put your mic on. Okay, got it.
Hare Krishna. Chapter 9, Sridham Mayapur, January 17th, 1976. After a walk in a nearby park, Srila Prabhupada set off for Mayapur at 7:30 a.m. with Prabhupada. Madhudisa Swami, Tamal Krishna Goswami, and Jayapataka Swami were in the lead car. Sridhara Swami, Harikesha, Chaitya Guru, who has come from Bombay to associate with Srila Prabhupada, and I followed in another. 2 hours later, 10 kilometers before the town of Ranaghat, our party stopped to take breakfast in a large grove of several hundred mango trees. The grove has become a regular resting point for Srila Prabhupada whenever he goes to Mayapur. Seated on a four-legged chadar on the leaf-strewn grass, with the spreading arms of the huge tree forming a pleasant canopy above, Prabhupada seemed completely at ease in the natural setting. We had brought various fruits, bada, dried cashew nuts, and sweets. The sannyasis sat in a row alongside his divine grace, while Chaitaguru and I served the prasadam out on leaf plates. After a relaxed half an hour, hands and mouth washed, we proceeded on to our destination, the birthplace of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. A large gathering of ISKCON Mahaprabhu devotees, led by Bhavananda and Sudama Maharaj, were to greet Srila Prabhupada when we arrived around 11 a.m. As we approached, we saw that the construction of a beautiful and impressive gatehouse had been completed at the entrance to our property. The gatehouse is 15 feet thick, with three archways. The center archway is wide and high enough for a truck to pass under, while the two side ones are for pedestrians. Above the
Pedestrians.
pedestrians, archways forms the large central one capped with an ornate brass spire reaching some 50 feet or so into the air. There are several small rooms in the domes on either side. The entire structure is attractively painted, the domes in saffron and maroon with yellow on the facing wall. Large footprints of Lord Chaitanya adorned with a tulsi leaf spring and surrounded by lotus flowers are emblazoned on the front, with the words Sri Mayapur Chandrodaya Mandir below them. Prabhupada got out of the car on the main front road as everyone looked on in great delight. He stepped forward and cut a large ribbon, officially opening the gateway. The formal ceremony followed. The metal gates were opened, and he happily walked through the arch and entered the temple compound, followed by a stream of devotees along the road past the original that, that
That's the hut. Is the hut when Prabhupada first stayed. Yeah.
hut where he first stayed when he got the land past flower beds and crops toward the main building. All the while he was surrounded by a dancing, chanting party of about 20 or 30 young Bengali brahmacharis, all Vaishnavas, heads shaven and decorated with tilak. These are all privileged residents of Lord Chaitanya's holy dham, whose greatest joy in life is clearly the presence of the Lord's pure devotee. Entering the ground floor temple room, Prabhupada greeted the beautiful brass platform of Sri Radha Madhav. Salagram Srila also present Mayapur being one of the few ISKCON temples in which Srila Prabhupada has so far sanctioned his OC. After a lively Guru Puja, Prabhupada gave a short talk describing the benefits of life in the Holy Dham. It was Bhaktivinoda Thakur's aspiration that the Europeans, Americans, and Indians altogether dance Jubilee Noda. So this temple, Mayapur Chandra temple, is meant for Transcendental United Nations. What the United Nations has failed, that will be achieved here by the process recommended by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. পৃথিবীতে আছে যত নগরাদি গ্রাম সর্বত্র প্রচার হইলে মোর নাম. So you have come from all parts of the world and are living together in the same. Krishna. Next
The
one.
next.
Okay,
Who's the
Prabhuji,
next one?
I'll read.
Please.
So, train these small boys. I am very glad, especially to see the small children from all other countries and Indian Bengalis all together, forgetting their bodily consciousness. That is the greatest achievement in this movement. That everyone forgets the bodily conception of life. Nobody thinks themselves here as European, American, Indian, Hindu, Muslim, Christian. They forget all these designations and simply they are ecstatic in chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. So kindly, what you have begun, do not break it. Continue it very jubilantly. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the master of Mayapur, he will be very much pleased upon you. And ultimately, you will go back home, back to Godhead. Thank you very much. With a loud cheers of devotees, he went upstairs to his room on the second floor. Srila Prabhupada is obviously extremely happy to be in Mayapur. The entire project is well managed and progressing wonderfully. Built to Prabhupada's own specification, the central guest house building has good facilities. He especially likes the wide verandas encircling the Srila Prabhupada is obviously extremely happy to be in Mayapur. The entire project is well managed and progressing wonderfully. Built to Prabhupada's own specification, the central guest house building has good facilities. He especially likes the wide verandas encircling the three upper stories, giving the guest house a spacious palatial effect on each of the upper floors. There are 8 rooms, each measuring 22 by 14 feet and 12 feet in height, split into groups of 4 by central stairway. More are equipped with 2 ornate wood frame bed, a table and a chair. At either the end of the floor, a large bathroom with 4 shower stalls, toilets and sinks. Prabhupada's own quarter have 2 interconnected rooms, one for working and giving darshana and other for sleeping. The rooms are very simply furnished. His sitting room has only a raised wooden asan and low desk, and the floors are covered with white sheeted cotton mattresses and bolsters. In the bedroom, there is an almirah, a small table with a very beautiful deity of Lord Chaitanya on it, and Srila Prabhupada's bed exactly the same type as in the guest rooms. He also has a bathroom at the end of his floor reserved for his exclusive use. Next door to Prabhupada, Chaitya Guru and me share the servants' room. The first thing I did after setting up Srila Prabhupada's dictaphone was install the summoning bell, the lead of which is long enough to reach from his desk right to my bedside. Prabhupada has only to push a button to instantly alert me when he needs something. As we unpacked, Srila Prabhupada chatted with the sannyasis for a few minutes. He expressed his satisfaction with the enthusiasm of the devotees, the beautiful grounds, and the spiritually vibrant atmosphere. He glanced around his room. His eyes rested for a moment an intricately carved 3-dimensional wooden plaque on the far wall. It depicts Shri Radha and Krishna and was a gift from admirer in Indonesia. On the wall beside him hung a large canvas oil painting depicting the Mayapur Foundation stone laying ceremony. It showed him sitting with some of his god brothers while disciples and admirers stand around. Above and behind him, dioramas of the Panchatattva perched on a shelf. It in just a perfect setting. I was struck by how the simplicity and deep spirituality of his surrounding seemed to perfectly complement Srila Prabhupada's own transcendental natures. Later giving Prabhupada his massage, I surveyed the beautiful gardens and the wide open expanse of fields from the veranda's vantage point. All around, I could see rice field in various stages of development, hues of emerald green maturing to yellow gold, clumps of dal, stripes of vegetable, nearly ripened wheat, and small green forests dotted the distant skyline. In the clear sky, kingfishers flashed brilliant blue, green parrots flitted here and there in pairs, and cranes stalked the flooded paddies. It was beautiful vision. Following the line of the road towards the Ganga and Jalangi rivers were the mathas, temple established by the followers of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. Their spires and domes reached to the sky, sentinels and reminders for real progress in human life. The sweet melodious kirtana of Bengali devotees floated out from the temple below us, pervading the entire atmosphere. In this environment, Srila Prabhupada is clearly more relaxed and happy than I have seen him so far, like someone who has returned home from afar. Mayapur struck me as idyllic, and as I rubbed the mustard oil on his lotus feet, I suggested that it would be a fine place for his retirement. He mused for a moment and then replied, either Vrindavan or Mayapur, no other place, that is for sure. Anyone else want to eat?
The
Okay.
next.
Okay, I think I'll. Early in the evening, Harikesha came in to see Srila Prabhupada looking very glum. He admitted that he had left the almirah in Prabhupada's Calcutta room open. Srila Prabhupada was very angry with him. He could not understand how he has been so careless. Prabhupada kept many important items locked up in his rooms, in cupboards or almirahs, especially in main centers where he has permanent rooms like Bombay, Vrindavan, Calcutta, or Mayapur. Because Harikesha has been traveling with Prabhupada for quite some time, Prabhupada entrusted him with keeping records of banking as well as other transactions. But he had said that now this carelessness meant he cannot be trusted. Harikesha felt he should immediately ring Calcutta, but Prabhupada made it clear the only solution was for Harikesha immediately to leave for Calcutta to personally lock up the Almirah. That was the only way to be certain. Harikeshna immediately made the arrangement and left soon after. Apart from this incident, the evening was very pleasant. Prabhupada sat relaxed and happy in his room. Both doors were left open on either side of him, allowing a gentle breeze to flow through. While the sounds of an aesthetic Sundara Arti Kirtan led by Sudama Maharaj reverberated in the night air, there was no visitors. After a hot cup of milk from our cows, Prabhupada took rest at 10 o'clock before starting his night's translation work. January 18th, 1976. First thing this morning, Srila Prabhupada went on a tour of all the buildings on our property. He inspected the entire grounds, beginning at the new Pukur, a small reservoir near the main gate dug out over the last year and now partially landscaped. He said fruit trees should be planted on the high banks surrounding it and path made all along. While walking, Prabhupada discussed accommodation for the devotees who would be visiting during the festival. Jayapataka Maharaj suggested building temporary grass cottages on the open land, but Prabhupada objected. He said it was better to spend money on something permanent. He told Jayapataka instead to build room along the entire length of the northern boundary wall and to have them ready for the festival. A whole new guest house building. With the festival only 6 weeks away, Jayapataka expressed doubts how it could be completed in time. Prabhupada told him that if they engage at least 100 men, it could be done. Then Bhavananda Maharaj raised the objection that there was no money. Prabhupada told him that if that was the only problem, he would give him money. But he said they must start immediately. Jayapataka, however, were still apprehensive. He said that there was shortage of bricks. Nevertheless, Prabhupada pushed him to begin construction. He told them that they should do whatever they can, but the work must begin immediately. Leaving the Pukur, we hesitated to go down the steep incline of the embankment. Jayapataka, however, has no problem running down even in his wooden shoes. Srila Prabhupada laughed, victorious like Jayapataka. He called out, appreciating his disciples' dexterity. Walking south along the inner road, Srila Prabhupada inspected the boundary wall rooms. Some were being used for living quarters and some were being used for storage. At the dispensary, Prabhupada said that he would give some herbal formulas for minor ailments. He also suggested that the devotees keep a stock of general medicine for curing common complaints without the need of for a doctor. At least 5 or 6 rooms were being used for weaving. Looking in at the looms, Prabhupada revealed a little of his vision of a spiritual society in Mayapur. He said some envious person might criticize, oh, this is temple and they are weaving, they are not worshipping. And yet other may accuse as a religionist, parasites. But in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Swakarmana tam abhyarchya siddhya vindayati manava. When whatever a person knows, he can work in that way and get perfection, provided he is Krishna conscious. Because they are preparing the cloth for the devotees and not for the business, they are therefore serving Krishna. Prabhupada suggested that some of the rooms be turned into shops where clothes, books, prasadam, mridanga, drums, and kartalas could be sold. Then he turned back to inspect the Gurukula on the northern side of the main gate. Prabhupada was disturbed to see clay dioramas from last year's festival now lying broken and neglected in some of the rooms. He wanted to know why other temples could keep their dolls for years, but ours have been destroyed within a year. When Jayapataka Maharaj offered vandalism as the excuse, Prabhupada strongly criticized him for allowing vandals to come in. You are so careful, that is the defect. Prabhupada told him sarcastically, we have so many enemies and you do not take care of it. He repeated this several times as he continued his tour. With mild sarcasm, he called his disciples the most foolish person in the whole world for not securing them properly. Walking out the main gate and down to the far southwesterly corner of our property, Prabhupada inspected the outside of the boundary wall. Its surface is being plastered and sculpted into a series of decorative panels. They will then be painted by our artists with advertisement for Prabhupada's books. At the end of the wall, we arrived at the new Prasadam Hall, where a free food program regularly serves free meals to many thousands of local people. At its side, a large metal turnstile has been specially installed. This is an invitation borrowed from the New York subways, but new in these parts. Its purpose is to prevent the villagers from crushing in all at once when coming to take prasadam. The hall itself is big enough to hold 1200 people at once. Prabhupada was impressed looking at its cavernous interior and high corrugated iron ceiling. He laughingly said it resembled the Bombay railway station. Nothing escaped his sharp eyes. Outside, he saw a broken down three-wheeled vehicle. He wanted to know why it was occupying valuable space. Told that it was donation from someone who has joined our ashrama, he quoted an old Bengali saying, a blind cow given in charity to a brahmana. When something is useless, all right, charity. He ordered it to be removed right then and there from our land. We do not require such charity, he said. From there, he inspected the kitchen area, a separate building with accommodation for householders on the upper floor. He was not pleased to see dirt on the steps. He said they looked as if they had not been cleaned for 300 years, and he demanded to know why. When told the place was cleaned every night, he retorted, what is the use of such cleaning if it is dirty the next morning? One of the managers said it was difficult to get the devotees to clean in the early morning because they all wanted to complete their japa. Prabhupada, however, said cleaning must come first and then chanting of japa another time. He stressed that unless they are prepared to work, no one should be allowed to join us. See Vigrahara, Nityanana, Shingara Tanmandir, Marjanatu. This is all temple. It is not ordinary hotel, free hotel. If they cannot take care as temple, they must go away. Simply eating, sleeping, that's all, not working. See that they do not make it a free hotel for eating and sleeping. Don't allow this. It should be clean. Why in the evening? Every morning it should be cleaned and washed and mopped. They must they must give up japa. First of all, clean. In the name of japa, they are dozing and everything is unclean. That is nonsense. This nonsense should not be allowed. Ask them stop jumping. First of all, clean, then make japa. Under a plea of japa, they are simply dozing. He said, "You should not give shelter to person who, in the name of so-called japa, take advantage of free board and lodging. You should be very careful. Everyone should be, according to his capacity, engaged to some work. Do not allow this stupidity." His inspection was thorough and penetrating, delving into every aspect of management, from the buildings to the crops. He was pleased to hear that the devotees are growing sugarcane and making gur from it. With good humor and practical intelligence, he encouraged the devotees to continue working hard for Krishna for the development of both Mayapur and their own spiritual lives. On his return to the temple, he greeted the deities, received Guru Puja, and circumambulated Sri Radha Madhav 3 times before returning to his room. Morning prasadam for the devotees was date juice and puffed rice, and the main meal being served at 11 a.m. For his breakfast, Prabhupada took only a small amount of fruit and butter. Jayapataka Maharaj brought him the season's first jug of date rasa, clear sweet sap of the date palm. He drank a small amount from his cup, appearing to enjoy it. Prabhupada called for me at 9:30 a.m. to begin his massage. He wanted to have it early because the sun was shining on the veranda outside his room. Whenever possible, and if not too hot, he enjoyed having his massage while exposed to the hell-giving rays of the sun. It was finished by 11 a.m., and after bathing, he sat on his asana in his room. With his eyes closed, he remained in an upright position for about 45 minutes. Occasionally, his lips moved as he silently chanted or said something. He appeared to be completely absorbed. I wondered, perhaps in Golok Vrindavan. Mayapur is definitely not the material world. There is transcendental aspect, tangible even to a neophyte like me. After months of arduous travel on behalf of Lord Chaitanya, Prabhupada has come here to recuperate and relax, always completely immersed in thoughts of Krishna, who knows what he actually sees and hears. Still, no one wants to read.
I can try again a little bit. Next one, prepare.
Okay.
Okay. A letter came from Sweden, written by Dwarakesh Das. In it, he explained that he was an Hungarian who had escaped from Hungary several years ago, later becoming a devotee. Now the Hungarian government was allowing illegal immigrants back, although once returning, it would be difficult to get out again. He felt he should go back and attempt to deliver Krishna consciousness to his countrymen. The devotees in Sweden already had contacts with the yoga club there, and he was enthusiastic to preach. Prabhupada encouraged him. After so many recent conversations and discussions on communism, it seems like Krishna responding to Srila Prabhupada's desire to spread Krishna consciousness in the communist countries. If there is possibility to preach amongst the communists, he wrote, you must do it immediately. The intelligent communist people will very easily understand our philosophy. We can convince them on the basis of Sama Sarveshu Bhuteshu. A Krishna conscious person is equally disposed to every living entity. 1854 Bhagavad Gita. Prabhupada explained that communism is no better than capitalism because both exploit the animals and other living beings. He told Dwarkadish he should make the present imperfect idea of communism perfect by following the description of perfect communism given in the Srimad Bhagavatam. It is stated that you feel for the poor animals as well as the human beings. Srimad Bhagavatam instructs that even if there is a snake or lizard in the house, it is the duty of the householder Krishna to see they are also eating, not starving. So you have to begin your preaching with such a broader idea of communism. Please go up. So as far as coming out of Hungary, once you enter, if you can preach, what's the need of coming out? That's interesting. Mahansa Swami wrote, he has been difficult persuading the two sisters in Nellore to relax the conditions on the deity of the gift land. Remember the gift land in Nellore? We read it. Prabhupada responded, "We're not at all interested to be dictated by them." He told him that because we have already installed the foundation stone, we do not wish to go back. To this end, he stated that his willingness even to purchase the land and still allow the two ladies to carry on living in one portion of the building as devotees. He was adamant, though, that, that we shall not concede to any special conditions. In the early evening, just on dusk, a few of the senior devotees and myself were sitting with Prabhupada in his room, conversing. From a distance and gradually drawing near, we heard a loud trumpeting of a conch shell accompanied by bell ringing and the chanting mantras. Bhavananda Maharaj laughed and told Prabhupada it was Anantarama Shastri, a Indian devotee in his mid-20s who joined us last year with three other Shastris. Unfortunately, the others left, but he was staying on. As his name implies, he was very knowledgeable in the scriptures and well-versed in the performance of various types of puja. He also quotes practically any Sanskrit verse from memory. Next one, please.
Hare Krishna. Bhavananda explained that each evening as the sun goes down, he tours the building floor by floor with a bell, conch, and a large clay incense burner, chanting various mantras to keep away ghosts and other subtle beings. The sound grew louder and Prabhupada smiled in welcome as Sastri entered his room in a cloud of frankincense. The rever- reverberations of the conch temporarily drowning out our conversation. It was an impressive ritual, made more so by Sastri's ability to both blow air through his mouth and suck it in through his nose at the same time, thus keeping the conch blowing uninter- uh, uninterruptedly for several minutes. He walks around both rooms, waving a bamboo fan over his clay bowl to disperse the fragrant smoke. It also acts an effective mosquito repellent. After a couple of minutes, he respectfully backed out the door and continued his nightly round. The puja triggered Prabhupada's remembrance of his time in Allahabad in 1945. He told us he was paying only 200 rupees for a whole house then, but the place was famous as a ghostly haunted house. Nobody would rent it, but Prabhupada took it. "I don't care for ghosts," he said, smiling. Actually, there was a ghost, and all the servants they were made, but I was chanting. Later,
Okay, Prabhuji.
Madhur Krishna Swami.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji,
Yes,
I
Mata.
think the time is there.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, so nectar. I forgot about it. Okay, so we hear later Madhuvisa, correct, Mata?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, I'll just make you feel this is the time that when I came to Mayapur, that was this time now, 1976 during the festival time. And we have this, Janani used to do it too, burning the incense and blowing the conch shell. So we used to see Prabhupada going every room, checking everything. So it was quite interesting. Okay, then. So we leave now. Thank you all for coming.